In true programmer fashion, I spent the better part of a week trying to automate an effect I could have spent a fraction of the time doing manually instead. And while the final result isn't exactly what I had in mind due to some limitations in the current version of UNodes, as well as in my understanding of mathematics, I thought it could be a fun project to do a video on either way. So let's get into it. Start by deleting everything and adding a cylinder. Set the vertices to 6 to create a hexagon. And scale it down on the z-axis. This will be the object that we're going to instance as the counter, so rename it to hextile. Then press M to move it to a new collection. And finally disable the collection. You can of course use whatever shape you want, I just think that hexagons look good. Next, add a plane or whatever object you want. It doesn't really matter since we just need an object to apply the Geometry Nodes modifier to. In the Geometry Nodes workspace, first add an object info node. And in the dropdown, select the tile object. Next, add a mesh line node from the mesh primitives. And change the offset to -1 on the x-axis, and 0 on both y and z. Then connect the mesh output to the geometry socket of the group output node. This will replace the original mesh with the new mesh line we just created, and we will use it as the points to instance the hex tiles. So let's add an instance on points node and connect the object info geometry to the instance input. And then decrease the scale until you can see the individual instances. Finally, we need a way to visualize the actual counting, and a good way to do that is by changing the rotation of the tiles. And for that, we need a rotate instances node, a combine XYZ node, a math node set to 2 radians, and another math node set to multiply. I will explain why in a moment. But before that, let's create the actual binary counting system. The way binary counting works is that every bit, or in our case tile, has a value that is equal to 2 to the power of its position minus 1. So for example, the first tile will be equal to 1, since 2 to the power of 0 is 1. Tile 2 will be 2 to the power of 1, which is 2. Tile 3 is 2 to the power of 2, which is 4, and so on. While I knew this, I had no idea how to convert that knowledge into a formula that could be used to create a node setup. So I started searching the internet for a formula that could do that, and while there are a lot of results on how to do it, all of the ones I found did it by an iterative process where you took the remainder of a modulo operation and passed it on as the next value and so on. And as it stands right now, modifying values and passing them on isn't possible in Geometry Nodes, though if for loops are ever introduced, this might change. And just as I started fearing that I might have to brute force the solution, there, hidden as an extra tidbit of an answer to a question about alternating rigged bones between set angles with drivers, I found it. So a huge shout out to Alex Breeze for saving me the headache of figuring this out myself. With this formula at hand, let's convert it to a node setup. This is just a number we want to input into the system, so we will use a value node for that and set it to 1 for now. Percentage is the modulo operation, so add a math node set to modulo and connect the value to the top socket. This part is the tile number, and we can get that by using the index node. The index node outputs the corresponding internal index value of each point. The 2 means 2 to the power of, so add a math node and set it to power. Plug the index into the exponent and set the base to 2. And then connect it to the modulo node. The second part of the formula then makes a greater than comparison, so add a compare floats node, set it to greater than or equal, and then connect the modulo node to the top socket. Again, 2 means 2 to the power of, so let's copy the power node. We can get this part by again using the index node. Connect the index node to this new power node. Then connect that to the bottom socket of the greater than or equal node. This value is the amount of degrees we want to rotate the tiles, and I will use 90 as well for this example. Using the multiply node we added before, connect the greater than node to it and set the bottom value to 90. Then lastly, connect the 2 radians node to whichever axis of the combine XYZ node you want to affect, and then connect that node to the rotate instances node. If we change the value over here, you will notice that it doesn't affect the tiles. We can fix this by adding a math node set to add with a value of 1 between the index node and this power node. And that's it for the binary counting system. To make this animated, we can use a driver on this value node to automatically increase it. Instead of typing a number in here, just type hashtag, which tells the node that whatever comes after will be interpreted as a driver, followed by frame, which is the keyword for reading the current frame we are on in the timeline, and lastly -1, so the value we get out is 1 less than the current frame. If you press play now, the counter will go wild, and that's because it is counting as fast as whatever frame rate you have your project set to here in the output properties. A nice and easy way to modify the speed is by dividing the value we get from the value node with some other number. So add a math node set to divide, and plug the value node into the top socket. Then drag the bottom socket over here to the group input. This allows us to change the speed directly out here in the modifiers tab. Press N to open the property sidebar, and in the group tab rename the value input to speed. The final addition I want to make is the ability to set the counter to any number I want, and that is easily achieved by adding a math node set to add after the divide node. Just as before, connect the value socket to the group input and rename it to starting number. Now you can display any number you want, given that you have enough tiles for it. And with this setup, the amount of tiles is determined by the count value of the mesh line node, so it's easy to control and it can even be animated. At this point I was pretty happy with the setup, but I wanted to improve it some more by having the tiles smoothly transition from one angle to another. I mean, how hard could that be? Unfortunately, this is where I reach a dead end. I tried everything from remapping values with module operations, to driving rotations using wave texture rings, to dynamic weight painting, but in the end, I had to admit defeat. If I end up finding a way to do it in the future, I will of course make a follow-up video, but until then I will have to make do with this. And honestly, if you ask me, it's a beauty.